Alright guys, thank y'all for coming. When 14-year-old Manna ran away from her abusive home, she met a woman selling fabric. She accepted the position and the woman provided a place to sleep for the night. When Manna awoke in the morning, the woman was gone and Manna discovered that she was in a brothel. For the next 2 years, she was held in the brothel and raped by customers for the profit of the brothel owners. And Manna's story is very similar to thousands of girls and women and children across the world who are victims of the human trafficking industry. Human trafficking is the fastest growing criminal industry in the world today, and that's due to lack of awareness or laws protecting men, women, and children and their vulnerability internationally. Tonight I'm just going to be discussing on how the industry operates and the small steps that we can take to make a big difference. My first point is that human trafficking is far more common in the United States than we typically give it credit. In fact, according to the Polaris Project, which is an organization aimed at fighting against human trafficking, there's an estimated 100,000 minors are in the commercial sex trade in the United States alone. Covering House is a similar organization, and on their website, sex trafficking in the U.S. is largely operating within the bounds of the general sex industry, and as such has been able to silently infiltrate our society. And they do that through porn, strip clubs, and I say porn because the internet is highly unregulated, so it's easy to get away with things like that, or even fake massage parlors, operating as general businesses but have the underground sex trade in the background. The reason I'm addressing us in the United States in particular is because I feel like Americans think that we're safe. We think about the sex trade as it's an international issue instead of a national issue that's happening right around us. And so that's why I felt it particular just to address exactly what's going on in our own country as well as many others across the world. And some general facts about human sex trafficking is that, and slavery in particular, is that there are more slaves today than there were at the peak of the transatlantic slave trade. And the average age for children to go into prostitution is 13 to 14 years old. And those children can be forced to have sex up to 20 to 48 times a day on average. So though human trafficking is rampant throughout the world, all hope is not lost. Even my second point is that even college students like us can reach out and make a difference to people like this that are suffering. And it's our responsibility as free citizens to do so. I'm sure many of y'all here being at ACU throughout the past couple of years have noticed the Red Thread movement by them being in the campus center wearing bracelets. But for those of y'all who don't know what that is, Red Thread is an organization aimed at fighting against human trafficking by selling bracelets that are actually weaved by rescued girls from Nepal. And according to their website, it's really easy to get involved. Anybody can do it, and you can just order bracelets, however many you want, and then sell them for $3 a piece. And when you order them, it's free of charge. You sell them for $3 a piece for a month or however long you choose to sell. And at the end of that month or your selling period, you just return the bracelets that haven't been sold, and all the proceeds, and those proceeds go towards fighting human trafficking. And of course, there's many other ways to take action like that. The U.S. Department of State's website has a few options, such as volunteering at local anti-trafficking organizations. You can even check the Department of Labor's list of goods produced by child and forced labor. And one such product that I think we all enjoy, except for Brandon, is chocolate. Chocolate is largely produced by forced child labor throughout the world, especially in tropical areas. And you can even join local human trafficking task forces. And if you're qualified, you can even join along with local PD to make busts and things like that, though I'm sure that's a lot less common. But, we're not powerless. And like I said before, it's our responsibility to use that power that we have. And so I hope that I've been helpful in raising a little bit of awareness of human trafficking as an international issue, but as well as an issue that is among us, but it's hidden. And like I said before, it's the #1 growing criminal industry in the world, but that can change with our help, but it's going to take a lot. And so I'm sure throughout this, I wondered a little bit, how exactly this relates to us as a people. And I'll just remind you that our freedom came with a price. Somebody else realized that there was wrong being done, and they sacrificed themselves and their own rights for others' freedom, which we may not have to even go as far, but we do need to take steps. And so human trafficking is not an issue of our own personal suffering, but it's an issue of conviction and the will to right what is done wrongly to others. Thanks, guys.